Good morning, it's Jimmy again, and here we are with something very cool. Today we're down in the eastern Denver area, and we're in the import section, but we found something that's kind of interesting. It's an imported Ford. Anyway, if you like what you see, please do subscribe and like, and we'll keep making these videos. So without further ado, here we go. Check this out, a 1974 first generation Ford Capri. Built in Germany, sold in the United States, well, and sold obviously all over Europe and probably other parts of the world too. The Capri was quite a popular car back in the day, sort of the European version of the Ford Mustang. Although the Mustang was also sold in Europe, I will say. It was definitely, some of them were brought over there. Anyway, the Capri is a sporty four-seater coupe, introduced in, 1969. At, I believe, the Belgian Brussels Auto Show. Could that be? Somewhere in Europe. Anyway, we in the US got this in 1971. And this is a first generation model. This is a 74, like I said, so the end of the first generation. Actually, officially, the second generation kicked off in Europe before this one was actually built. So that's kind of interesting. Looks like they built both of them concurrently, maybe at different factories. But yeah, this was sold in the US not as a Ford Capri or a Mercury Capri, but it was just sold as a Capri by Mercury dealers. So you won't see any badging on this thing besides Capri, which is interesting. And Europe, everywhere else is obviously always a Ford Capri. And yeah, these are cool. I mean, they're attractive little coupes. Very cool. Had a bunch of different engines over its lifespan. And actually were in production until 1986 or so in Europe for the, obviously further generation model. So what do we have? Let's take a look. This is cool. This being a 74 did have the post 73 bumpers, so you got a much bigger, fatter, rubber covered bumper to comply with the US bumper regulations. I think this filler piece here is new. The grille is different. It's kind of plastic. It's got 4 sealed beam headlights. The Europeans got just one big halogen, which is nice. And we also got our the turn signals here set in the grille. It's kind of interesting. Got the Ford logo on there, and this one's actually made in France, so that's the reflector for that. So yeah, this was definitely, I mean, this thing was built, I believe, in Germany, so it would have been the Cologne plant, which is near the Nürburgring, which is always a good thing. So now let's keep looking. Let's see, what do we have? Styling is obviously long hood, short rear deck lid. Everyone's familiar with these, right? I mean, all my viewers who are not in the US definitely know these, and the US viewers should know these. But you have these two little fake scoops, similar to, I guess, what the Mustang did too, right? Although it just had one scoop back in the day. There's the very short rear deck lid. Extraction vents here in the back. And then you had, well, taillights are gone on this one, but you also got the large bumper for 73. Pre-73, you had these much more attractive little chrome units in here. You've got a slightly recessed rear windshield there, or window, which is interesting. And then here's the trunk. This one's obviously been sitting around for a while. It's pretty rotted in here, lots of rust. Spare tire is still in there. Here's a bottle of JB quality radiator cool, not an antifreeze, so something you add. Makes engines run cooler. I wonder how old this is. Who knows? It's pretty old though. Kind of cool finding old stuff like that in cars. These are the insides of the taillights. Got the Ford badging on there. Top open. Open means top or upper in German. And then, yeah, there's the part number. Got the right side and the left side here. Yeah, fuel tanks behind the rear seat. And this is a pretty short, very short deck lid. You could fit a golf bag or maybe two in here if you try. Don't know how many people did, but this, I guess you could drive this to the country club. Looks good. It's not quite the Lincoln Mark III, but it's a lot more sporty and fun to get there. Let's take a look under the hood. For 74, which I said this one is, these got there are two engines available. These got the 2.3 liter 4-cylinder. Oh, all right, let's see if I can find a prop rod here. Here's a piece of metal that will do the trick. Oh, hang on. Dropped our camera there, sorry about that. So just use this prop rod I found. So here we go. That's the 2.3 liter 4-cylinder, should be. Very interesting, different looking air cleaner on top. Haven't seen one like this before. That's interesting. Usually it's obviously a big round thing, as you know. Yep, 4-cylinder, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the 2.8 V6 was also an option. But I believe most of them were 4s. Some kind of a fuse or relay there from Hella, made in Germany. Shock tower there. It's pretty rusted, this one. Like I said, looks like this one's been sitting around for quite some time. But it's just neat to see. I mean, this thing is quite complete. You got FOMO Co logo there on the, I guess that's the coolant expansion tank. Or is that the windshield washer? One of the two. Anyway, yeah, I mean, this thing's, well, I don't know if anybody would actually take this thing because it's looking pretty old there. There's a sticker on the engine. Under the hood, it's definitely, or the bonnet, it's definitely rusted. And yeah, kind of interesting. But yeah, so what did these do power-wise? I want to say it had around 80 horsepower. Is that, am I thinking that through right? Sounds about right for a 2.3 of that vintage. You guys will correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, let's go take a look. Oh, is this a, no, it just says check coolant level when engine's cold. Let's take a look. We haven't looked at the inside yet, have we? So, nice grab handle here. Chrome mirrors there on the door. This is nice. You've got a black vinyl door panel. Obviously window winders. Nice little armrest there. And look at this. This is a nice sporty European style coupe. I like that. You've got a wood dashboard. Very nice. Little eyeball vents. This one shows 89,461 miles on the clock. You've got the RPM gauge going up to 7,000. Kind of like the little graphic there above the minimum. Well, yeah, obviously it's going to go up and to the right. And full instruments, amperes, oil pressure, fuel gauge, water temp. Then you had a radio up here that looks pretty old and original. And then HVAC, but no AC on this one. And then 4 button blanks. This one has an automatic transmission, which is interesting. I guess that's how many of them were sold here in the US, although I think this would be more fun with stick shift. And wiper switches, low and high. They just, oh yeah, they just push in. These are kind of beaten out. And then what's this? Oh, a clock, a VDO clock. And I guess that went into that mount right there, but it's broken off. Then the ashtray, oh, here's the ashtray. Would have just slotted in there like that. And then over here, I can't open the passenger door, it's stuck, so that's why I'm kind of doing it all from this side. There's a Clarion equalizer in the glove box. Excuse my finger. And glove box lid. Stays closed. Pioneer aftermarket speakers on this one. And you even had a center console with not much room in there and a small pad. Seats look pretty good. It's very European style vinyl. Volkswagen / Mercedes looking. Probably the same supplier when you think about it, right? And these, yeah, they look comfortable. Obviously, you got seat belts. Here's the switch to get in the back seat. Look at those headrests. Those are wild, huh? They look normal from the front, but then from the back, they go way down there. Then you have this semi-solid vinyl with fake stitching around the back, and then the back seat is actually not bad. That looks, I mean, not a ton of room, but looks fairly comfortable. With pop-out rear windows, handholds up there, and a very Euro style white with little perforations headliner. Something we definitely see in European brands. This one's got the gigantic aftermarket mirror that was in vogue. And what else? Oh yeah, here we go. Here's the VIN. Manufactured by Ford Werke AG. So that's in Cologne, so it's Germany. In so April 1974. And it's a passenger car, obviously. So yeah, gotta say, this is definitely a different find. Don't see Capris and Junkyards at all anymore. Obviously, Capri went on in the US to become a clone of the Mustang. in the 80s. And actually, I'm sorry, first there was the second generation of this, sold from 76 to 78. That got the second generation European styling, definitely a little smoother, more modern looking, keep up with the times. And then the Capri, like I said, ended up being a Mustang clone and actually badged as a Mercury Capri, still sold at Lincoln-Mercury dealers. And eventually the Capri went on to become a little convertible that was built by Mazda of Australia, of all people. And somehow was introduced around the same time as the Miata, and well, it pretty much got spanked by the Miata. But so the Capri name started off on a high note, kind of went downhill from there. But still, what a fantastic car, what a great find today. And if you liked what you saw, please do subscribe and like, and we'll keep making these videos for you. All right, thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.